What's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to show you how we made $65,000 wholesaling real estate and exactly how you can do the same thing. In this video, we packaged 3 properties together from one seller. We're going to talk about some of the struggles we had, talking about the lead flow, how we put the deal together, how we double closed it on the back end because we had to transfer title companies, a lot of things that often aren't talked about, and how we problem solved and got this deal done and made $65,000 without owning these properties. We made cold, hard cash. So make sure you stick around to the end. This is going to be some amazing information and you can get started wholesaling today after you watch this video. Let's get it. If you're new to this channel, my name is Tommy Harr. I'm a 30-year-old home inspector turned real estate investor, and the things you're going to learn in this channel, wholesaling, flipping, and investing in real estate for long-term wealth, made me a millionaire by the time I was 27 years old. So this is the real side of real estate. You're going to learn actual tangible things. It's not easy, but it's completely life-changing. I'm going to do a lot of screen sharing here in this video. But before you go any farther, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you show some love. You got some good value out of this video, and this one's gonna be fun. Let's get it. Alrighty. So before I get any farther into this video, I want to give a quick recap onto what wholesaling is. I've got a lot of other videos that show this, but wholesaling is you finding off-market, typically, you can do it on-market, but everything I'm talking about is off-market real estate. So we're finding deals off-market through marketing and sales, putting them in contract and selling them to end buyers on the back end. So by the end of this video, you're gonna figure out how we found this deal, how we generated the lead, how we raised the capital to sell it, all of the above in some of the trials and tribulations. So right away, you're gonna see my CRM here. We use ReSimpli or ReSimpli, however you wanna say it. The link to use our exact CRM is actually at the bottom. If you guys don't have a CRM yet, I highly recommend using this one. We've used a few over the years. This one is by far the best. So highly recommend. I think you get a couple-week trial with the one that we're using with that link down there. So go ahead and dive into that. I promise you, it'll help you be way more organized. This deal here, we got actually as a cold call lead. So I'm gonna pull up the lead here, and I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that I'm talking about. All right, so right away, the way we were able to get a hold of this seller was through cold calling. So if you're watching this video and you're like, I don't have a lot of money to spend on marketing, I don't have a lot of money to spend on direct mail or TV ads or hire cold callers out, you can do the cold calling yourself. That has been one of the best lead gen and actually cash close deals that we've done over the last 5 to 6 years. It's made us millions of dollars literally picking up the phone and calling people. There's a way to do it, and the first thing you need to do is find your data. So right here in my CRM, you'll see the data and list that this came from. So this was a hot prospect probate lead. So what we do in our company is we have cold callers that are in-house. We actually hand dial cold call people using a CRM, and I'll give you that here in a second. But this was a probate lead, meaning somebody passed away and somebody inherited these houses. So that right there, you're always trying to think of motivations on why somebody would want to sell properties. And somebody passing away and inheriting properties is one of the best ways that we've found that we can solve a problem and get these properties off their hands for a quick cash solution. Remember, as a wholesaler, you have to have a value proposition. Instead of somebody going and selling on the market for top dollar, why would they sell to a wholesaler for usually less money, almost always less money, but a quicker, easier transaction? So always be remembering that. So what we do, and this is a kind of a higher level thing, we actually pull probates every single day from the county dockets. So we're pulling those probates because they're public record, and we're scrubbing them with virtual assistants overseas. But if you don't know what that is, if you don't have time or have the money to do that, literally all you have to do is go in there and pull their name in their record and go to yellow pages or white pages, I think it is, and get their information and call them. Okay, so what we do is we take these lists and we put them into smartphone, SMRT phone. You need some sort of phone system. If you don't have a phone system yet, Google Voice is just fine, but what we do with smartphone is they have what's called a power dialer, and it'll call 4 people at a time, and when somebody answers, it'll drop the other calls. So that was the way we generated this lead. I'm not gonna go much farther on that. If you want more information on the beginning steps and how to pull lists, how to call these people, we actually have a Kickstarter program. It's $99 a month. It'll teach you the exact system start to finish and actually how to cold call yourself. That's actually gonna be in the show notes as well. Amazing information. We've had people close tons of deals just from that information alone. So go ahead and go there. But next, Once that lead came in, it was passed on to our acquisition manager. So an acquisition manager is somebody that talks to sellers that are leads all day, every day, trying to get them to sell their house to you for a discount for cash. So if I'm looking through my CRM, I see that we've had some phone calls here. Emmanuel is going to be my team member. Cheryl here is going to be the seller. We're going to blur out these phone numbers so you guys don't see all that stuff. But you see we've tried to call a few times, and then finally I get a call here, and this is why you need a phone system, because it integrates directly into our CRM. I, as the owner of the company, can re-listen to calls. I can go back and take notes. But if you're just calling from your phone number, it's impossible to go back and take notes, to listen to people's calls, and understand how to do training. So real quick, I'm going to listen to a portion of this call and give you guys some feedback.
Hello.
I'm going to skip through here.
How are you?
Okay.
Good. Wait, I wanted to reach out. I thought you talked to my assistant here a little bit about selling your house on Dibley Avenue.
Okay.
So right away, the lead comes in from either a cold caller or you're doing the cold calling. You've got to tie in the two. So he's saying my assistant reached out, which is true. So our cold caller in-house got the lead, and now you got to tie the two together, and you got to restart the conversation and start to get the conversation flowing.
Yeah, well,
Who's your
local
assistant?
manager.
I'm sorry. Who is your assistant?
It would have been probably Ellis or Eric.
Okay. Not
Does that ring a
familiar,
bell?
No, but I have a realtor that's dealing with all of these people, so I can have you talk to him if you'd like. I'm not really.
Oh.
Okay, right away she's got a realtor involved, so she actually has properties that she probably wants to sell, and a realtor's already involved. Usually that means the price is going up. You want to get these people before they get to realtors, but nonetheless, that's what the conversation's about.
So did you actually list the house, or you plan on listing it?
We're still going through probate, but eventually, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Right there, that is the magic words that you need to hear. That was the motivation. So, hey, we pulled a probate list, but that doesn't mean it's always for sure. So it's still going through probate, and yes, we do want to sell. So if we can hop into that process and help out, and maybe this could have been 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months out, but you can still get properties under contract with a closing date out as far as you need to go. So you need to help out in the process and get to where they need to be.
So if you want his number, I can certainly direct.
So the rest of that conversation is just them connecting phone numbers with the agent and connecting the dots. So after we connected with the agent, what we realized is they had 3 properties, or she inherited 3 properties on the west side of Columbus that they all wanted to sell. So when we connected with the realtor, I don't have those phone calls, so I can't really share those with you, but they wanted $480,000 for these 3 properties. There's a single family that's tenant occupied. There's a single family that was owner occupied that is now vacant. And the third one was a 7-unit property on the west side, all 1 bed, 1 bath. So what you want to do in these scenarios when you got bundles of properties is you want to look at them individually. This is not an apartment complex to where everything comes together with income. You want to just look at them piece by piece. And you can wholesale 20 deals at once if you want to 20 different people. So hopefully this video will break it down. Don't let these big package deals scare you. You can make so much money on these deals if you just know how to work them. So here's a note from my team member coming in. So to my team member, my business partner. Tell the agent there's an opportunity for dual agency on the purchase and sell. So meaning I and my team are willing to pay the agent, because sellers pay agent fees, we are willing to pay them as well an agent fee. So once you pull on agents and let them know that you would pay them too, they're more than likely to take a lower offer than somebody else because they're getting paid double of what somebody else is going to pay. 3 properties in probate in pretty good condition. The deck in the back needs work. The 7-unit apartment building, the 4 out of 7 are occupied. We went for a walkthrough. So right away we knew that there was something there. You kind of ignore price right away, and we were like, okay, let's go walk these things and see if there's anything actually there. So I'm not going to dive into these properties super deep as far as ARV goes. We've got other videos on how to run comps. This is what we ran everything at. So after they offered they wanted $480,000, we saw that the first property, 230 Wayne, the area is about 170, it's tenant occupied. We wanted to offer about 75,000 bucks. It needed about 60 grand in work, 60, 70,000. We felt like that was a good enough offer for that one. The second one had an ARV of 215. So sell for 215, we were gonna offer $105,000, $110,000 less than what it was gonna be worth when it's done, because it needed about the same. And then the 7 unit, we offered $210,000. The ARV is about $500,000. So we're offering half of what these properties are worth when they're done, but they all need work, right? So if they were all fixed up and beautiful and ready to go, they would have just thrown them on the market. A lot of these wholesale deals, you just need to understand that they're gonna need work, and that's why they're talking to you. So the properties need work, and they're going through probate, and they want a quick, clean cash offer. So what happened after this was we hit them at $380,000. They, at the time, and this was February 7th, they said no, and then a month later came back to us seeing if our offer was still on the table. I don't know what happened between then and then. We followed up a few times, but I say this to say your deals are not always going to get answered right away. Most of your deals are going to get done on follow-up. So that's why you also need a CRM like this. You need to know when to follow up with these people as time goes on until the property sells. So we ended up putting this property in contract, properties in contract, for $395,000. So let me show you what these properties look like so we're not just looking at my screen the whole time. So this property right here, 230 North Wayne, this is the exact property, 170 ARV. Let me scroll out. This one we got in contract for $75,000. We then, I'm gonna do this one by one here. The next one we got in contract for $110,000, I believe. Little brick ranch, nice house, decent area. And then we got this 7-unit property, which doesn't show a picture, but 7-unit property for $220,000. So what we ended up doing was we knew that the 7-unit property was gonna be, well, let me rewind. Some of the things that you need to do, and we could have made $77,500 on this deal. We ended up making about $65,000 because we agreed that they could use their title company. So we use a title company that we didn't know, and they don't work with investors very much. So in order for us to assign the contract or wholesale the deal to somebody else, this title company wasn't going to allow it because they don't do that. So that means we only had one other option to get this deal done, and that was to double close. So before I get into like the numbers and like talking through the individuality of these deals, we had to double close these deals. So we closed the deal on a Monday and we resold them that Friday because we had to take it to our title company. The deeds had to record. So that means we had to raise capital about $400,000 to get this deal done. But typically in wholesaling, you don't need to do that. But having access to capital, or transactional funding, they call it, is a major leg up. And as things start to change in the wholesale space, you're gonna want access to capital. You can get so many more deals done, but you have to have end buyers ready to go. All right, so I no longer need my computer here. So what I'm just gonna talk through the numbers with you guys. So we got these properties in contract for $395,000, and we broke them up into individual contracts. So the first contract we had for $75,000, the second one we had for $100,000, and the other one we had for $220,000. So that is, making sure that this is right, 220 plus 100 plus 75. 395. That is exactly what we had it for. Okay. So we had the 7-unit locked up for $220,000. So we broke them up individually so we could wholesale them individually. It's not one lump sum. They're each individual properties. The second property we had for 100, and the last one we had for 75. So what we knew is that not every buyer in our cash buyers list would want a 7-unit property. And the 7-unit people wouldn't want an occupied single-family house. So breaking these into 3, but knowing that it had to at least equal $395,000 because that was our purchase price. What we did is that we assigned the single family that was occupied for $77,500. So that'd be $2,500 of an assignment. Not that much money, not a great deal. The second one we had locked up for $100,000, we assigned for 110. So now we're up 12,500. And then the 7 unit we had for 220, we sold that one for 285. So that, the 285 deal was where the lump sum of our cash on the assignment side was going to come from. So the total is $77,500 more than our agreed on price. But the problem is, once again, we couldn't assign this. If we were able to just assign the contracts, we would have made a clean $77,500. We would have walked away and we would have gotten this done. But what we had to do was double close. So we had to raise, so I had a friend send me $400,000 as a short-term loan to close this on the front end for 5 days. And people will do this. If you're watching this video, really I only do it for people in my mentorship, but we will do this for you as long as you have end buyers ready with funds ready to go. So what we had to do is I closed on it on the front end, I took title, and then the deeds got recorded, and then we closed at my title company 4 days later. So the problem with this is you start losing money every transaction you do. So on the back end, my buyers pay all of my closing costs, and they should on your assignments no matter what. My buyers have paid that, but now I have to incur closing costs on all of those deals on the front side. So we paid about $5,000 to close the deals on the front side. So now I'm down to $72,500, and then I also had to pay $4,900 to borrow the money. So now I'm down to like $66,000. But at the end of the day, it got the deal done. So we walked away with $66,000. It actually, what day is it? March 31st. It closed officially Friday, and it funded today. So the money hit our account today. It's a great day. But that's how you be a problem solver. You let people know, hey, we can take all of these properties off your hand. It doesn't mean it has to sell to the same person. You can chop it up into different people, but at the end of the day, you still have to close on them. So to tie everything in here, this deal came from doing the dirty work. We cold called a probate list. So we scrubbed the county records. We cold called them. So we didn't send a direct mail. It wasn't our TV ads. It wasn't any of that stuff. It was picking up the phone and calling people. And then we got in touch with the seller, who got us in touch with the realtor, who we negotiated with. And then at the end of the day, we put it in contract at almost $100,000 less than what they were asking. So offer what you can and follow up diligently. And then we found buyers to close this deal for us. And we had to work through different title companies. We had to raise capital for transactional funding. And we got this thing done. So if you want to learn how to do the same thing, if you want to learn how to wholesale, if you want to learn how to change your life, I highly recommend clicking that $99 Kickstarter program. If you want to learn self-pace how to do it. And if you're like, Tommy, I want to learn faster, I want to learn hands-on, I would join my mentorship program. We teach people how to do this. You get all of our systems. We'll actually do all of your lead generation for the first month of the program. So we'll pull your lists. We'll start within the first week of you joining. If you want to wholesale, you'll start getting leads into the CRM you just looked at for you to call and start to close within 30 days. So if that's something you're interested in, click the link below. Let's have a conversation, talk to my team, and we'll see you on the inside. Welcome to the real side of real estate. Until next time.